year was 1993. It was the year that Beanie Babies hit the shelves. Steven Spielberg blew our minds with Jurassic Park the movie. And the World Wide Web was introduced to the public. It was also a year that one of the most iconic games was released for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Star Fox is an arcade-style rail shooter where you play as Fox McCloud, an anthropomorphic fox who leads a squadron throughout the Lilat planetary system. If you were a kid that grew up in the early to mid 90s, like I did, then you're most likely familiar with Star Fox. You've either rented it, or were even lucky enough to have owned a copy back in the day. Star Fox was the first Super Nintendo game to include the FX chip, which allowed the system to render 3D graphics during a period of predominantly 2D games. There are multiple stages that include 3 different levels of difficulty, along with a couple bonus stages thrown in. You fly through stages, shooting down bogeys, blasting enemies, and upgrading your firepower. And if you can make it to the end of each level, you'll face off against a stage boss. And the further you progress through the game, bosses become deadlier and more complex. You eventually make it to Andross, the main antagonist of the Star Fox series, and the arch nemesis of Fox McCloud. He spits 3D tiles at you and then sucks them back in, repeating this until you've blasted both eyes, shattering his face, and revealing the final stage of the battle. A cube-like core, destroy it quickly, or he will regenerate, and you'll have to fight this tile-spewing face all over again. Any fan of the Star Fox series knows by now, we were all deprived of a sequel until its release in 2017 on the Super Nintendo Mini, even though it was completed in 1995. Reasons for not releasing Star Fox 2 back then was that Nintendo was concerned that the 16-bit graphics would compare poorly against their competitors' consoles, such as the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn. Instead, Nintendo decided to prioritize its upcoming Star Fox 64, which it would incorporate many of Star Fox 2's concepts. Over a decade ago or so, I was searching online for anyone who made reissued NES and SNES games. I happened to come across a company called TIMEWALK Games. But sadly, this company is no longer in business, but what they used to do is they used to provide complete boxed Nintendo cartridge games. TimeWalk Games would also use newly manufactured boards, not the usual donor boards, like most others, to make their games. Complete games included a newly painted cartridge, inserts, manuals, and highly detailed boxes. They also professionally sealed their boxes to complete the nostalgic experience. Now, I was lucky enough to have been able to purchase a bunch of them before they closed up for business, and I've been storing them in a box on a shelf for many years. Now, recently, I decided maybe it would be a good idea to review some of these games. So let's start with Star Fox 2. Now, TIMEWALK did an excellent job with the box art. The air wing is beautifully displayed on the front, while the back is covered with screenshots, a write-up, along with TIMEWALK's official seal. All of these details give you the true feeling of authenticity. Inside, you'll find a custom cartridge, an art insert, and a full color manual. Star Fox 2 pushes the 3D graphical capabilities of the Super Nintendo and the Super FX chip. The game introduces semi-real-time gameplay, new playable characters, new ship types, and a more advanced game engine. The story continues with the fight against Andross, who somehow survived the last battle. He seeks revenge and the ultimate destruction of the Lylat system. Unlike the linear path of the original Star Fox 2 allows you to move freely around a map screen of the Lylat system. By making contact with enemy forces, the game switches to an action perspective. After completing the objective, you're taken back to the map screen to select a new destination. The main objective is to take down all enemy forces that are presented on the map while simultaneously defending the planet Corneria, the fourth planet of the Lylat system, considered to be the mother planet. You must take out fighters, interplanetary ballistic missiles, along with large battleships and planetary bases. One of the major differences from the original is your option to transform your air wing into a walker, which is better suited for ground battles and navigation. Just like its predecessor, you eventually make it to the final boss, Andross. He's once again a giant face where you need to blast his eyes to destroy him. Only difference is, in this scenario, he shoots fire lasers instead of tiles at you. Once you break the face, you kill the cube, and you save the system. What?
It was a team effort.
What's a mission? Adios, Andor. Let's head back to the area.
Well, in conclusion, Star Fox 2 is a great addition to the franchise. Although it's clear as to why they held back on the release. For example, the 3D visuals are primitive, especially when going up against the likes of PlayStation at the time. TIMEWALK Games did a great job, however, of creating these reissued, complete SNES games. It's really too bad they're no longer producing them anymore. The rumor is that they got scared of copyright infringement. They may have even been threatened with a lawsuit. Another rumor is that it was taking up too much of their time, away from their families, and they all agreed to shut down production. I'm not sure if we'll ever really know. If you have any information as to why, please share it down below in the comments. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.